Hey, how's it going, people? Welcome back to our channel, and today we gonna talk about Arsenal's transfer plans, potential ones, uh, Champions League, the draw, the seedings, and all that stuff, and of course some transfer links as well. This might be a bit longer video than usual, mostly because we're gonna talk about a bit more about Champions League, a bit more about transfer plans. There will be obviously some transfer talk about some players going out on loan, potentially coming in. So yeah, let me know what you think down in comments below, of course, about the Champions League, about the transfer plans. What do you expect and how do you think the articles and reports are true or not? What do you expect from this summer transfer window from Arsenal? Of course, like, subscribe, hit that bell, and let's get into it. And we're kicking things off obviously with Arsenal's transfer plans. It's been quite widely talked about since the season was over. Will Arsenal sign another massive player in similar style like Declan Rice? Or Arsenal will try and go for quality in a way, trying to split the money, increase the depth, because the depth is one of the biggest issues Arsenal have. We already have issues. We don't have a proper striker. We don't have a midfielder to replace Thomas Partey and stuff like that. We don't have a proper left back. But to add to that, we don't have proper depth. No backup for Saka, no backup for Odegaard, no backup for Saliba, no left backs in general, no backup for Partey even if Partey stayed. We don't have the depth to do certain things, to do certain aspects, and this is one of the biggest reasons why, in my opinion, we can't do anything in cup competitions. Mostly I'm speaking about Carabao Cup and FA Cup here, because this is the biggest reason why we go out in third or fourth round. And whenever we rotate the squad, the drop off is so massive that at the end of the day we pretty much crash and burn out of every competition, because instantly we play pretty much the same 11 every single game. Maybe we change one or two players because we can change in certain positions certain players without losing the quality. But overall, if you lose, let's just say, Odegaard, and you have to play, let's just say, Fabio Vieira there, we are screwed instantly. Saliba gets injured, we don't have a proper center back to replace them. What, Ben's White gonna go back to being a center back or what? We don't have proper replacements in certain positions. So that is all about what this first part of this video is all about. And obviously, if we talk about last season, Arsenal broke the transfer record for signing Declan Rice, 100+ million, and it was incredibly well invested. Now, signing Kai Havertz for 65 is a hit or miss there, because for me it went out through the whole season. Yes, Kai Havertz went on purple patches, he had a good run of scoring goals and in general stuff like that. He had the second best season in general since the Bayer Leverkusen days, actually, to be honest, not just Chelsea days. So that wasn't maybe that big of an issue in a way, but he in some instances he missed some chances which may have cost us in a way maybe. But overall, yeah, we spent 65 million on Havertz, and that is something I couldn't kind of let go throughout the whole season, and in a way I still cannot let go. The fact that if you add just 5 million more, so 70 million, you can sign Maddison and Kudus. And that is the big thing, because instantly you have a backup for Saka, you have a backup for Declan Rice or whoever plays in that left center mid role. You already have two creative players, because obviously, we haven't had a proper DM since Patrick Vieira. We signed Thomas Partey, we thought it will be it, but unfortunately he was injured. Declan Rice tried his hand at being a number 6. It was very hit or miss here or there, so that was a big one. So it is what it is. Obviously, during the summer, also after all the signings, Arsenal couldn't complete the transfer of David Roy immediately. So he just joined on loan for 3 million, and he's gonna be more likely than not. Obviously, it's pretty much confirmed. The first signing of this summer window, extra 27 million. So overall, to put it together to 30 million. Obviously, his stock and his value has risen since playing for Arsenal, winning the Golden Glove and stuff like that. But yeah, but at the same time, the thing is, the club remains committed to ensuring that they sign the best players available for any role they want to strengthen. And that, for me, actually is a striker, is a center mid, is a left back, and to be honest, well, with Saka there, we need also a backup 100% there. And that's the thing. Already many players have been linked with a move to Arsenal in this window, which still hasn't opened yet, but will open in 3 weeks, in less than 3 weeks. And obviously some players are good enough, some players are good just to be backups. So there are not a significant players and stuff like that to kind of focus your attention on, to definitely 100% to sign. There are players that could instantly sign for big money and they will be instantly the starting 11 player. There are many players we could sign to be a proper squad players. But the biggest thing is, in all of this situation, that after spending so much last season, obviously you spent quite a bit, the reports are claiming, more or less, in not just here but in multiple reports are claiming that Arsenal want to focus on signing players who will be alternatives to their main stars and will not cost too much money. Now, I'm all for that. I'm all for that, splitting money, signing quality players to have the depth of the team, to have proper rotation, and to have backups just in case we get injured. Because this season we rode our luck to the maximum, in my opinion, because none of our main guys got injured and didn't miss quite a bit of time. Only players that got injured was Partey since the beginning, Partey. It was Timba, it was Martinelli for some time, obviously. And the rest of the players are pretty much not good enough to be starting 11 players, Zinchenko and stuff like that. So definitely we didn't lose many players. It wasn't like last season. We lost Saliba. We legit this season were one injury away from one of our main guys to our season more or less falling apart. So that is the thing. And this is why I'm all pro this. But at the same time, if we want to challenge for the title, as much as we need depth, we need quality in the starting 11. And we need that striker. We need that Partey replacement since Fabrizio Romano already has confirmed that he's leaving. So you cannot sign for half the money player to have and hope that he can be quality. Yes, he can grow to that, but how long you gonna do this youth project? Because after this season, it's more evident than anything that we need proper striker, we need a Partey replacement in the left back, and at the same time, we need quality signings to kind of cement our team and to improve it. And can Arsenal do all that together? I'm not sure, because I'm not sure Arsenal are looking in that way. I think Arteta are looking at this and thinking, well, we did good, we finished second, only 2 points behind City, and at the end of the day, we lost some games, we didn't have the depth and we didn't have rotation. And I get that, but at the same time, throughout the whole season, we need a striker to bang goals, because that's a big issue at the moment. And it was throughout the whole season. Many chances, Jesus cannot finish, Havertz cannot finish, not clinical enough. Our best finisher is mostly coming off the bench, and towards the end part of the season he was starting, it was Trossard. So that definitely is a massive, massive question. Will Arsenal go in for someone big, then sell and try and just then buy quality? Or in general, they won't go for anyone big, but buy just quality and increase their depth, increase their bench strength, and then go from there. And here is one of the biggest things. Arsenal potentially, well, not potentially, they are facing nightmare Champions League group stage draw as the top seeding spots are confirmed. And it's not looking good, in my opinion, let's just say that straight on. If we look at the projected pots, pot 1 is City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool, Inter, Borussia Dortmund, Leipzig and Barcelona, 9 teams. Then we move to pot 2, where we are in. Bayer Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, Juventus, Benfica, obviously Arsenal, AC Milan, and as you can see there are stars to the teams, and those mean that they have not yet qualified for next season's Champions League, but there's Club Brugge and Shakhtar Donetsk if they qualify. Pot 3 is Feyenoord, Sporting, PSV, Celtic, Lille, PAOK, Fenerbahce, Maccabi, Tel Aviv and Young Boys. And of course pot 4 is Monaco, Villa, Bologna, Girona, Stuttgart, Sturm Graz, Brest, Galatasaray and Sparta Prague. Which obviously with the new Champions League taking place, the new draw with it being in two big groups and everything, it could be a nightmare for Arsenal. Given that we are in pot 2, in a way, we instantly can get Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, PSG, and let's just say Borussia Dortmund. Just forget about the nations, yeah? Then from our pot, we go in there and we can get Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Atalanta, Juventus. We go to pot 3. You think it's getting easier? Sporting from Lisbon. We saw how that went last time we played them, so that's not going to be an easy game. Glasgow Celtic, you think that's an easy game? Hell no, we all have seen what they can do. Fenerbahce, they finished second in the league, in Turkish league. with 99 points this season. Galatasaray won with 101, I think it was, or 102 points if I'm not mistaken. Already, then we move to part 4. You think it will be easier to play against Monaco, or Bologna, or Girona, or Stuttgart, or Galatasaray? It's not gonna be easy. There are massive potentials for Arsenal to play insane teams only, and it could get quite ugly with this new format they have built. And that is one of the biggest worries at the moment. And the biggest thing in all of this is, as it says, the group draw is on August 29th. Any team from any pot is gonna play 2 games against 2 of the teams from each other pot. So there is a possibility, if nothing goes our way, we play Bayern Munich and PSG or Real Madrid. Then from third pot, we play Sporting and Celtic, or Sporting and Lille, Sporting and Fenerbahce. Go to pot 4, we play Monaco and Bologna. Monaco, I don't know, maybe Villa. If I don't know how they're gonna rule it out. I haven't kind of dove into it, but it will remain how it seems. Or Monaco, Galatasaray. It's not gonna be easy at the end of the day. So definitely, this Champions League situation, it's not a good sign. But obviously, all we can do is hope. Wait till August 29th, hope we make proper investments in the summer signing players, and go from there. We cannot jump ahead to conclusions before the draw has happened. So at the end of the day, we'll see what is what. But for this instance, it is looking worrying at the moment. It could go either somewhat good or very, very bad. And now let's talk about transfers. 3 players, nothing much. Eddie Howe drops Newcastle transfer hint that will have Arsenal tongues wagging, whatever that means. Basically, what is happening there, if we don't talk about Isak, here it is. And the Emirates, here it is, that this, and another time this. Because the Magpies won't be competing in Europe next season. They didn't qualify for Europa League, Champions League, or anywhere. Meaning, they could be forced to cash in on their best talent in order to comply with FFP regulations. They spent quite a bit of money on certain players, quite a loads of money, which means at the end of the day, there's a massive chance they may need to sell some big stars to balance the books. And this is why it is very interesting, because it was said that Isak would be worth around 80 to 100 million, in that region. Then it was said that Newcastle have slapped like 150 to 170 million price tag on him, which seemed quite bizarre, and I didn't want to read too much into that, and here it is, that they might need to sell. And it's something manager Eddie Howe has spoken about, with the ex-Bournemouth coach telling the Chronicle. It's all about next season. Now it will be good to be back on home soil and preparing for next season. And this is the thing. European qualification is a massive in terms of revenue. It plays a part in the future. It plays a massive part in the future. And you never ever know what's gonna happen. And that is the big thing for them. That is a big thing for them. Initial suggestions hinted that the figure would be close to 200 million, as we talked about. Would be needed to release Isak from Newcastle. With them kind of wanting to big money, because they were laughing at the fact that Rob laughed of claims of being available under 100 million. However, with clubs across the division feeling the squeeze from profit and sustainability rules, FFP and all that stuff, the Newcastle Chiefs may have to consider the reduced price sale, and that is what it's all about. Sometimes to sign, you need to sell to balance the books, and then those are the moments of desperation when you get players at cut prices. You could get some good players. Some Premier League team could get Pope. Someone could get Bruno Guimaraes. Someone could get Isak. There are players there you could get, and that's the big one. And in Arsenal's terms, it most likely is Isak. Although maybe Bruno Guimaraes also would be quite nice, I'm not gonna lie. Moving on to one of our youngsters in Mika Biereth. Now, we signed him from Fulham as a youngster who was bagging goals there left, right and center. He came here, he came to Hale End and all that stuff, and he came to the, well, not Hale End, he came to the Young Grounds. Then he went out on loan to Marwell, got recalled. I think he was on loan in their division of Valavik, if I'm not mistaken, the club was. Maybe he came back, then he went to Marwell. Mid-season he got recalled and he got loaned out to Sturm Graz, who actually are in pot 4 in Champions League, by the way. How ironic is that, to be honest? But here it is, where he had a quite decent spell. In 22 games, he scored 9 goals and provided 4 assists, so 13 goals in 22 fixtures, which is not bad at all. He played in, I think it was Conference League or Europa League, I'm not now tripping, I forgot where Sturm Graz played, but he scored there as well. That's what I remember. And helped them to do the double. They won the league and they won the cup in Austria as well, which is a massive, massive achievement for him, especially at that young age. So definitely, Mika Biereth is on the move, but he's not getting sold. Don't get me wrong here, he is on loan with Sheffield Wednesday, plotting a potential summer transfer move for the Arsenal player. Now, it's not gonna be a sell, no chance in hell. His contract runs out, I think it was 2025 or 26. Where was it? It was said somewhere here. His contract runs out either in 25 or 26. I'm just blanking on top of my head. So that's why I'm kind of I want to see if it's somewhere here. Here it is. Despite the hopes of Owls fans that Biereth will feature in the next, Sturm Graz are currently in pole position. Yeah, they would like to keep him. There's no argument about that, obviously. But yeah, here we go. Mika Biereth youth record for Arsenal and Fulham. Appearances 67, 37 goals, 20 assists, so 57 points from 67 games is nothing to sneeze at. I, to be honest, wouldn't mind seeing him at Arsenal. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing him at Arsenal, maybe in pre-season, having some games, see what he's made of. He might not be ready, but it is what it is. Obviously, we have that youngster who scored about 55 goals in 2 games during the season in under 16s. So that he instantly got promoted, obviously. So it will be interesting to follow that. But Mika Biereth, he definitely should get a chance. Why not? Why not test him out, especially with our striker issues? I know there are not many youngsters who provisionally in future you could see as an Arsenal player in a way, apart from Ethan Vanieri most likely, maybe Skelly on some level, maybe some other like a youngster from under 16s, but otherwise under 23s they're not looking that great so far. I know they're doing their thing there and they're trying to do their best, but so far from what we've seen, there are not many that would build you with hope that in, let's just say, 3-4 years, maybe even 2 years, they could be Arsenal quality. And the last one for today is Joshua Zirkzee. Obviously, we've been linking for quite some time in winter and throughout the second part of the season, and it doesn't look like he is ready to move. Obviously, there's massive interest allegedly from Arsenal, from Juventus as well, but by the looks of things, he has hinted himself that he would want to stay at Bologna. Now, it comes with a small asterisk though. Juventus are about to sign their manager, Thiago Motta, he did a brilliant job for Bologna, getting them into Champions League and all that stuff. So there is massive, massive asterisk to what Zirkzee is going to happen, because Juventus are very wanting him, really, really want him, I'm sorry. And Thiago Motta being there could be a massive, massive factor that plays in on him moving to Juventus, especially the way he managed Bologna, that Bologna at times played a very weird like 2-6-1 or 2-7-2 something, no, 2-7-1, a very weird formation mid-game, which worked like a charm. That was a weird one to watch, but it was very nice to see how it worked. A very, very interesting tactic, a very different look on the things, but it worked like a charm. But by the looks of things, a 15 million target, Joshua Zirkzee, more likely than not is gonna stay at Italy. It looks more likely than not that the more likely that he's gonna stay at Bologna. And with Thiago Motta moving to obviously to Juventus, it looks like the next destination for him, if he moves, would actually be Juventus. So Arsenal, I guess, is not on the books. Anyhow, those were some transfer news, rumors, obviously, transfer policies, plans maybe for this summer from me for you today. Champions League kind of thoughts. Let me know down in comments what you think. Definitely I need to look more deeper into the Champions League stuff, how it's gonna happen, and maybe make a separate video on that. Let me know down in comments below. Would you try maybe Mika Biereth in preseason? See how he does, maybe, just maybe. Would you take Zirkzee if you got a chance, or would you take Isak for about 80 million? Obviously you would, or whatever you've been asking. But do you think, that's the more important question, Arsenal will go for one massive signing and then many small ones, or they will spread the wealth and go for new, like 4 or 5 very solid signings to increase the depth, to have proper backups and all that stuff? Let me know down in comments what you think. Take care, stay safe, and see you all tomorrow. Peace.